What's up everybody, Adam here with the etrailer. Today on my dad's 2012 Chevrolet Silverado, we're going to be taking a look at the front and back kit for your WeatherTech Mud Flaps. Mud Flaps are going to be a necessity in my opinion, just because it's going to prolong the life of this back little panel. It's just going to prevent it from getting a bunch of mud and rock chips and stuff. And this does tend to kind of rust out on any type of truck. So kind of protecting that is going to be nice. But also if you're hauling stuff, we're not going to be throwing rocks and stuff back at whatever we're hauling. So it's going to keep everything back there safe as well. This is going to be a custom fit. As you can see, it is literally perfect. It completely contours to the edging of our rear quarter panel here. And that's something I really like. It has a nice clean look. And it does have this little bulge right down here, which is a little bit different than the Husky liners. I would definitely compare these to the Huskies. I think they all do the same exact job. There isn't really a whole lot of difference when it comes to the finish. They're all made of thermoplastic resin, so they're gonna be extra strong. They're gonna be impact resistant. But one of the main things on the mounting side of it is this is gonna be a little bit easier than the Huskies. So with the Huskies, you're just gonna have to reuse the hardware. But with these, it has stainless steel little quick turn knobs, which gets it installed in a matter of seconds. So that is one thing that is a little bit better with the WeatherTechs, is just on the back, we are gonna have a little bit easier installation process. But at the end of the day, they're all gonna do the same exact thing. And it all just kind of comes down to, if you want the really quick install, go for this. And if you don't really care, you can just go with the Huskies. I like the Huskies just because it's more of a flat face, but that isn't really a major difference. They're all pretty much the same thing. And for the front, it's basically the same thing, same exact shape and everything like that, same exact nice custom fit, but the only difference is just gonna be the mounting. So if you come around inside the wheel well, we basically just reused the hardware that came with the truck. So that is one thing you'll do with the fronts here, and you will have to start kind of turning your wheels to get them all to fit. But at the end of the day, it's gonna do the same exact job as back there, but with this, it's really gonna help prevent some of the different rust spots and paint chips that you get. And if you do have some nice running boards too, it's gonna protect those as well. This typically rusts out. I know it kind of does on the vehicle that I have, and you can kind of start to see and feel some of these chips that's already been here because of this. So I would definitely recommend grabbing these. It's just gonna, again, protect your truck. Between the backs and the fronts are gonna take a little bit more time to install. So if you wanna see how we install them, you go ahead and stick around, we're gonna show you. First thing you wanna do is clean up the spot where the flaps are gonna go. As you can see, the flaps that we had on here before, it's just leaving a lot of debris. So we really wanna clean that up. Just take whatever you got, soak it real good, and then take like a shop towel or whatever to clean it off. Yikes. So a lot of that was dirt, but more of it was just kind of just little nicks in the sides. That's something that we're gonna try to prevent with these flaps. So now that that's done, there is a little sticker that comes in the kit which will protect this from that happening. They didn't have it on here before, and that's why it looks like that. But basically we're gonna have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. You can take a little insert. We're not keeping these on here, so I'm not gonna use this, but basically just put it kind of like right there, and that'll just protect all that from happening. So once that's done, we are gonna have to kind of move our wheels around to be able to access all this. So depending on what side you are, it's gonna let you know where you're gonna need to turn your wheels. So once that's done, we just need to remove all of the hardware holding the old mud flap or just our wheel liners in. So get all those out. I took out most of them when we took these off, but there is gonna be a little tab right here. You could do your best. Take a tool or a flathead screwdriver. And you know how these work, they just kind of pull out like that. And then you can pull out the core, and we will use these later, so we just want to set that to the side for now. And then we can go ahead and kind of just hold these up, and we can use the hardware that we took off before, just to kind of reinstall all these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the one I have right next to me. Put that in. And insert this back in there. And I'm just using the hardware that was here before. I'm not going to completely tighten them down yet. I'm just going to get all of them in and then tighten them all at the same exact time. And then for the very last one, which is way in the back right here, one, we're going to have to turn these wheels to access it. But if you have just a straight through hole, they do give you a screw and a lock nut that you can put through there and then thread this on the other side. But with our case today, this actually has a threaded hole, and there was hardware in there before, so I'm just going to replace that. But if that's not the case, it does come with one for each side. And then we can go ahead and repeat that same exact process on the other side. And now let's just head to the back. So again, we're going to clean this surface and put the sticker on just like the front. But with these, we're not going to really have to worry about the hardware. Basically, as this kind of rotates, so it'll start out like this. And then as it rotates, this is going to go around, and then this is going to fit right in this inner lip. So it's pretty simple stuff. And then this right here is a little tab, and that's just going to go on the edge right here. So it's very, very simple. All you got to do is just kind of put it in there, make sure everything's kind of rotated in the unlock position, get it put up into place, and then we can kind of push in and rotate around. Until we can feel it kind of lock into place. And once it's locked, give it a couple more turns to make sure it's nice and tight. And do the same exact thing to the bottom. And that's literally it. So this is nice and solid, as you can see. And we can do that same exact process for the other side. So once you have the front and the back done, you're basically done with the install of the WeatherTech Mud Flaps on our 2012 Chevrolet Silverado.